All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachahakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect. Shalom Barakathum. And this this economy is drying up, and so is the pride of these people. Okay, as these jobs start to vanish and go away, watch the responses you start to see on people. Okay, people are going to walk around with a lot more humility, and you're going to have a lot more crash outs. Okay, I'm speculating, but we know how this ends up. Okay, it's going to get really really bad out here. Okay, and some people are going to be casualties before the real fun starts. Okay, and by fun I mean Jacob's trouble, which is much needed. Let's listen to a little bit of this video. It's titled Kansas City firing 30,000 workers. Cities are going broke. Okay, and it's going to get worse because AI really hasn't started taking over a lot of jobs yet. It's taking over some, but what it's doing now, it's slowing down the hiring. So they're starting to not hire people, but eventually it's going to go from not hiring people to straight up firing people. Okay, and when you see what AI is going to be able to do, especially with robotics and automation, there ain't nothing good left for these people, man. Okay, your best recourse is going to be locked down in one of these cities. Okay, otherwise you're going to be a pilgrim out here. Which I'll get to in a
To
second. But let's listen.
December, by that time the damage has been done, and the unemployment rate for a lot of young people basically skyrocket up. Federal agencies will have to wait until mid-October before they can start hiring new employees, according to new orders from President Donald Trump. Now, the previous hiring freeze has been expected to lift on July 15th, but now there is a new one where agencies will prevent filling vacant positions until mid October. That is not good at all. And at the end of the day, it's just going to be easier than ever before to fire federal workers. And if you look into a lot of people who work in the federal department, they all said that it used to be very, very strong, it used to be, almost impossible to get fired, very, very strong policies. But of course, under the Trump administration, they want to save money. They can't just have a bunch of federal employees around. So they're firing people. Okay, and a lot of people do not like this. Like, some people have been working here for nearly 2 decades.
Wait until McDonald's hamburger is $30. For just the basic meal. Okay, because that's where all of this is going. Okay, see these companies when their sales start to drop because people can't even afford McDonald's anymore. What they do is they raise the price to offset it. Okay, they try to get the money from the people who can still afford it. You know, and so it's gonna be a compounding issue. You're not gonna have a choice. All right, and when things get really really bad, all of you women are about to find out the hard way the price of rebellion. Okay, let's skip to this woman here. She's the first one, I believe.
Are
We're not gonna watch the
complaining.
whole thing. Just a few
Check
minutes.
out some of these videos.
All right, everybody, listen up. As we all know, Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, aka Doge, had wiped out hundreds of thousands of federal jobs. The aftermath was a disaster. Just a reminder, Doge was launched on day one of Trump's presidency, backed by Elon Musk, to streamline the government. What it actually did, trigger one of the largest mass firings in U.S. history. More than 260,000 federal workers were forced out. Entire agencies gutted. Climate scientists, VA nurses, EPA enforcement teams gone. But here's the part I need you to pay attention to. Over 150,000 people are still being paid full salaries to do nothing. Trump's
You heard that? See, a lot of these Keishas that work these jobs, a lot of them they did employment fraud. They were working two jobs. They had a work from home job and they had a ghost job at the federal government. Okay, getting their bag. All of this stunt they've been and what have they been doing? You know, buying BMWs. You know, buying bags and things that they don't need. A lot of these women bought a house and paid 100,000 over asking for a house. Okay, because they had the money coming in. Okay, but that mortgage is 30 years, bitch. Okay, You ain't got hit with the first big maintenance bill yet. Wait till the AC goes out. Wait till the roof starts going out and the foundation crack, and then you ain't even gonna be able to sell it. You know, see, it's a spirit of consumerism going on in America. Okay, and that's the real plague here. I might try to get that definition. Consumerism. Consumerism is a socioeconomic system where the acquisition of goods and services is considered economically desirable and often linked to personal identity and happiness. Okay? So, in other words, the love of stuff. Okay? Buy. Gets more stuff. Collecting bags and purses. I'm on my fifth Birkin. You know? It's a piece of leather they charge you 40 bands for. And they found out China made that shit for $25, man. You know, how are they able to do that? Because of the mindset of these people. It's very wasteful. Didn't we tell you the venture was going to fail? Okay. That's in Isaiah 32. At verse 2, it says, and a man shall be a hiding place. And a man shall be a hiding place from the wind and a covert from the tempest. See, because men are responsible. Okay, all of these guys that work $30,000 a year jobs, $50,000 a year jobs, you scoff at them, but those men have the most financial discipline. Some of these guys out here, man, they don't make that much compared to what they call a high value man, but they're good with their money. Okay, they got 50, 75 bands saved up. Okay, they've been putting into retirement. They've been putting it in index funds and things of that nature. All right. They're more responsible, so they're gonna be highly sought after, man. They're gonna be a hiding place for a lot of these women, and a lot of you niggas that like the pookies and you like or you chasing a man on a yacht somewhere. They don't have no use for you, man. You're just boxed because that's all you have to offer. Okay, it says as rivers of water in a dry place, the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So it's about to be a drought out here. Okay. Now, when you skip down, verse 9, it says, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Okay, because they don't give a damn about the future. These women don't think past the next week, man. They thinking about the next paycheck. They not even thinking 6 months ahead. Okay. They got that hedonistic spirit, that live in the moment spirit, you know, and Wisdom of Solomon 2, it goes into that. All right. We went into that at camp. Okay. It says, verse 10, many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail. The gathering shall not come. Okay. We told you the vintage was going to fail. This is all a house of cards, man. This money ain't real. This economy ain't real. It's based off of BS. It's all propped up from exploiting heathen overseas. Okay, that's why the heathen, they send their best people over here to get some of that wealth back, and they send it right back to their countries because they figured it out, man. You dopey head Americans thinking the numbers in your bank account is something to be proud of, but you don't know the real value of money. You don't know this shit it's really worth 1% of what it is on paper. That's how much the US dollar has been devalued. Okay. So you earned what's coming next.
Brilliant deferred resignation plan has cost taxpayers $21.7 billion for employees not even allowed to work. Meanwhile, the IRS can't process taxes, the EPA can't test drinking water, the VA is canceling care, and the HHS is scrambling to rehire the public health staff it just fired. And they're calling this efficiency. Agencies are in chaos. Services are crumbling.
Well, it is efficiency because the government was way overbloated, man. There's absolutely no reason the government could get $5 trillion guaranteed in tax money and then still overspend it. They still blew it. Okay? They've been spending $7-8 trillion since 2020, man. That's wild. You know how much money that is? And why is everything still going up in price? Why is everybody broke? Why can't nobody afford nothing? Why is deodorant $12? You know? Because this whole thing is a scam. And Keisha, you trusted these niggas, man. Okay? But now, as the scriptures say, we're going over to one of my favorite verses, Isaiah 47 and 12. It says, stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. Okay? So all of you so-called Americans, or you Americans, all right? All of you that are patriots and want to be on the side of Esau, keep that same energy. All right? Trust Donald Trump. Okay? Trust in him. All right? It says, if so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Okay? Well, you should be able to profit then. You know, this society is so righteous. Okay, we're just filled with hate. You know, that's what they tell us. We're just hateful. We're bitter. We've been telling you this is some bullshit the whole time, man. All right. And a lot of you are still not going to get it. You're still going to be proud until they're literally in the streets putting people down who don't want to comply. Because it will get bad. Okay, when people can't eat, that's when the violence turns up. Okay, and Esau's already justified in finding ways to justify violence on you tribes, man. Okay, he made up the immigration crisis. He let them in the border, and then said, okay, we got to do something about the Northern Kingdom. Even though there's a bunch of Chinese, Iranians, and other people crossing the border, the target's on you, Jake. All right, now it's crime in inner cities. He's federalized DC, even though crime is down 30%. Or crime is at a 30-year low in D.C. And he's saying, no, we got to take over. You see, they're going to make something up, man.
It's quietly being reshaped behind the scenes. Elon's out, Trump loyalists are in, and the AI layoffs are still coming. So if you've noticed your flight got delayed, your tax returns late, or your medications held up, yeah, that's not a glitch. That's Trump's government reform. I'll be breaking this story down even more on my Patreon and Substack. Both links are in the bio.
So can someone please tell me where I can get a job? I'm in New York. I just moved here. And I've been applying. And I found nothing. So if you're from New York and your job is hard.
Okay, little rant, y'all. Can we talk about how
are they walking around all calm with no job? How do you think that's happening? Simps. Do you think I'm on the internet making TikToks and I don't have a job? Huh? You think I'm walking around all laxed, you know? Because see, men, we know if you don't work, you don't eat. Ain't nobody coming to save you, man. You got to figure something out. Okay, and brothers, get ready. We're coming in those times where, you know, brothers may lose their job. Okay, this is what the body is. This is what the body is for. Okay, there's going to be casualties suffered in this thing. Pain. This is a painful process, man. Okay, we're getting ready to go through the fire and be transformed. Okay, that's why the Lord wrote that down. Love one another, man. Okay. That's why the Lord wrote that down. And patience possess ye your souls. You're gonna get tried. All of that, man. See, these people don't consider that. They're walking around because they're able to do that because they can still go to a bar and get a drink. Some simp gonna buy it for them. Okay, that's going away though. Okay, they can still call up their baby daddy. You know, throw him a little bit of box he ain't got in a minute. Okay. Them orbiters, them niggas that they gave their number to and didn't call them back, you know, 6 weeks ago, all of a sudden, hey, you know, can you cash at me $50? See, that's how these women are getting by, but that's about to go away. Okay. Isaiah 30:1, woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord Yahweh, that take counsel but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. That's why she don't want a job so she can do the right thing. She wants a job so she can go back to posting thirst traps on Instagram, talking shit about how we don't need men, you know, living this feminist lifestyle. She want to go on vacation. She want to go to Tulum with money she don't have. All right. This whole society is sickening, man. It's all vain. Okay? It's all vanity and confusion. Verse 2, that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Okay? How could they do this to me? Why are they doing this? You know, that's the questions they're gonna have, because they literally can't see that this man is the devil. Okay?
hard it is genuinely to find a job, even as a college student, even after getting a 4-year degree. As of now,
and see these cuter women like this, get ready to see Box enter the market for like $25. Okay? Get ready. See, she got she's a 3.9 GPA from Berkeley. You know how prestigious of a school Berkeley is, man? Just graduated with a 3.9, man. Can't get no job. Just like down there, was it Venezuela? You had women that were straight up PhD doctors, man. All right, selling box. All right, so women like that look good or remotely good, you already know what's about to go down. Okay, you ugly ones, you gonna get it the worst, because see, even you've gotten proud, man. Even you look down at a man that works $30,000 a year, makes $30,000 a year. And you're like, ugh, you know. The audacity, man. So what do you think is gonna happen when these jobs dry up, man? You think somebody gonna go and they ain't even gonna want it from you? You know why? Because women like this, these cuter ones, gonna be walking around giving it for the cheap. Okay. You old crusty so-called black masculine women, you gonna have to learn how to fight. You know, you have to get you a couple firearms or something. Do a few kick those. You know, that's what they call them back in where I'm from. You know, that's where this is going.
upcoming senior at UC Berkeley, I understand how difficult it is, and that's why I want to put y'all on something. So I don't know if you guys know what class action lawsuits are. You sue companies because they're treating their customers bad, misleading people, doing what they're not supposed to be doing. All right. And you can do this through the Claim app. Again, it's all through an app, so you literally don't have to do anything. And I made, as you can see, $1,000 from doing nothing. Some settlements need proof, some settlements don't. Do whatever you have.
And see, that's what they sold them, convenience, man. You done got paid off of a lawsuit by just downloading the app. See, that's what they're addicted to, this convenience. Okay? The moment they got to walk 2 miles, they like, you know, they're going to be panicking, you know. A lot of you not going to be able to get access to medication pretty soon. This is not going to be pretty. Okay?
Proof for, do whatever you don't. It's super easy, and y'all gotta get on.
Guys, I need help. The people I'm currently nannying for, which is my main source of income, they don't need me starting the end of September. And so I'm looking for...
Do you think this woman would give an average guy the time of day? The answer is no. They don't have enough common sense to just get a goddamn man. That's if you're a woman out here, your first line of protection is a man. Okay? The Most High gave you the gift to get a man emotionally invested into you, okay, through sex and service of that man. And he's bonded to you, man. But they don't have enough common sense to use that. They just throw it around at anybody in the club, at a bar. I don't need one. Didn't even look 6 weeks ahead. Don't pay attention to the news. Don't see the job market is going sideways. Her employer had to tell her that I need to find a job. It literally didn't even dawn on her. Okay?
For a job. I've applied to a ton of different jobs and I've had no luck whatsoever. So let me know if you guys know any jobs at hiring grounds, Utah County area, or if your job is hiring, that would be literally so appreciated. And if you don't want to comment who you work for, you can just DM me on my Instagram. But
I'll end it here, man. This is Jeremiah. I'm going to read it in the NLT, Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 4 in the NLT. This is the message the Lord Yahweh gave concerning Israel and Judah. All right. It says, this is what the Lord Yahweh says. I hear cries of fear. There is terror and no peace. Okay. That's what's coming. It's not just going to be, asking for some money or selling box. Bodies are going to start dropping out here. All right. That's what we've been told to warn you, but you scoffed at it, you ignored it. Okay, you look at us as the low value men here. Okay, like we read earlier, stand with those enchantments. Okay, verse 6. Now let me ask you a question. Do men give birth to babies? Then why do they stand there ashen faced? Right? Your men gonna look like they going into labor. Got the ugly Tyrese face. The ugly crying face like Tyrese. Grown men, that's coming. Verse 7. In all history, there has never been such a time of terror. All right? That's why Donald Trump is in office, man. That's why these small hats are getting so brazen and bold. And they're going to have to make a really bold move because everybody's caught on to them. Okay? That's when a crazy serial killer is the most dangerous, when he knows he's been discovered, okay? When he knows the rules or the things he was disguising himself as is no longer working. That's when he becomes a problem, a real problem. That's when the real violence starts, okay? It says, it will be a time of trouble for my people Israel, yet in the end they will be saved, okay? And when they're speaking about Israel, it's talking about the elect, because a lot of you 2/3, you're going to get jacked up, okay? Utterly jacked up. Anyway, I'm going to play all of this, I'll end it here. Lord willing, this is edifying. Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rachak Wadash Shalom Kwam Yasharallah.